Hi, this is Helen with the Better Half blog. Thanks for joining me. I have some hobonichis today, and that's the topic of the day. I've had 2 mega weeks, 1 regular weeks, and I'm going to share with you how I used it. We'll do a little flip together. Let's get started. Guess where we're going? So, where are we going? Guess. I got 3 of them, 2 in the beginning of the year, and then I got the last one in January or maybe a little later, I don't know. But it was exciting at the time, and I thought it was such a great idea just because I needed a thinner notebook. And I will tell you, I ended up not using the regular one outside of testing it out for different types of spread. Quick flip of it. I was trying to track all kinds of things here. Never happened, just because I am not a tracking type of person. I am more of like, just go do it type of person. So as you can see, I tried to jot down all my schedules here because I was, for a minute, carrying it in my wallet, my EDC. So I was trying to do that. I really did not move forward with this. So that is kind of the flip of my monthlies. So let's go into the weeks. I did not receive it on the end of 2020, so I did not really use it. I just went back and tried to do some things and play with spreads. Not a whole lot that I really liked, that really worked for me. It was more like, I have it, I need to use it somehow kind of situation, and that's not me. I tried to, at one point, do my health tracking here, breakfast, lunch, dinner, what I was personally having, not my family, and then some snacks that I was having, and then here. I fell off this because I love eating, and tracking my eating was just getting kind of frustrating. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's a waste of my time. And the time that I really don't have. In April, I just kind of dropped this and I said, you know what, Helen, stop trying, just let it go. In the month of November, here on the 13th of November is when I picked it up again, and I realized, okay, you know what? Because my whole EDC was getting super chunky and heavy for my wallet, and it was in here like this, I decided I don't really need my main planner in my wallet. What I need is my credit card spending, my money stuff. So then I picked this up because it's so thin. I added it in here and I was carrying it around like in my wallet. So see how thin that is? It's super thin, super worth it. Until last week. So then I wrote down all my credit card spendings on the left and then my cash spendings on the right, whatever I had to pay off right here, and I would just pay it off and just write it down so that I know I paid it down on this date. On the following, and of course you don't see these colors, they're color coded, right? So anything in this grasshopper green color are the ones that were paid here. The pink are these. These colors you'll see on the next week. So that's that color, the tan, and then you've got the green here. That includes this and all of these. So it's whenever I sit down to do this, to pay it off, that's when I do it. On this week, the new Hobonichi week starts. I moved on to this one, and you'll see that I have migrated everything over, and then I am not rewriting all the spending from the previous week here. I'm just writing down what I need to pay. These, as you can see, it's not highlighted. That means that it's going to be paid on this following week. I will have a different color than these, so it doesn't confuse me. Now, the reason why I do color code these as I pay it off is that when it hits my bank account and now I have to write it down or I need to update my budget, I need to know what categories transactions were. So I need to know if it was for my personal brand, was it for a subscription, was it for a bill, was it for a car, was it holiday shopping, family time. That's why I come back to this as I am updating my budget to figure out $473.28 was paid great. It hit my bank account, so that was withdrawn. So what was it for? That's when I come back here, I tally up like there's 2 car transactions here. I would add these up, write it down in my budget book. That way, at the end of the month, when I tally up all the categories and how much were spent versus how much were budgeted to be spent in those particular categories, I will know exactly what they were and those numbers. So that's how I use this one. This budget book, again, is very similar. I was using this as my credit card spending tracker throughout the year, and it gives me a lot of joy to do that because you can do it on your budget book, but I haven't found another way to where it is so easy, just as I did here, to track my spending on a daily basis and then to be able to pay it off in the following week. My credit card spending tracker is very important to me, and another reason why I carry it in my wallet, so that every time I use my cards or cash, I then jot it down real quick. The second one is my main catch-all. I didn't really do much with this. In the new Hobonichi weeks for 2022, I do have a plan for this, and so I did play with this already. So my goals for 2021, here we have all the most important dates. When do we get our COVID vaccine? The first dose, second dose, health insurance, premiums, auto insurance renewals, travels, some important dates that I want to know for next year so that I know how to schedule around boys' haircuts. I wanted to track how often they're getting haircuts, doctor's appointments, eye cares, when did they order their last glasses or contacts. Here I was doodling and doing all kinds of things in December because I was using another notebook, a planner, for the month of December, so I didn't really need this. Here is when I really started to use this, and basically I have all my high-level important dates. When does school start? When does school end? Any new after-school activities or clubs that our kids join, I want to put it down here so that I remember when I'm planning my weekly. Travel arrangements, there's a lot of travels. And then I was color coding things depending on what it is for. Taekwondo, like purple was for kids, red was for Sean's travel. And that quickly fell off because I have to carry all these Zicling color dot markers everywhere. And as a busy mom, it's hard for me to carry around a big pouch or sit in one place and always plan in that one place. And then I went back to just paper and pen. That's it. This is used as my future log. So outside of my Notion future log, I sync everything, all my schedules into this notebook. I have things in my Notion, I have things in my iCalendar. This is where it all ends up. If I am scheduling, like, let's say a COVID booster shot, I would come here to look at when did my husband get his first and second dose? Because, you know, they ask you that kind of stuff. So this really helped me. When I book my eye appointments for certain kids, I would know Sean, Eric, and Vicky had their eye care in October, and Lydia and David had their eye care in January. So come January, I need to start booking their eye care. I started working at the office here in this month. So as you can see, it got a little busier. Wow. So September was busy. It was crazy, and I was kind of losing my mind. So I had to put everything down, and every week I would have to look and review all the notes, my schedules and things, so that I am not missing anything. And look at October, pretty crazy. Lots of travels, more travels, and all the things that I needed to get done. Squeezing in my yoga through the week because I was kind of losing that side of me, getting things done at the house. So I really had to focus and pay attention and split my work and personal as I was traveling to the office. Now I'm back at home working majority of the time. I will start checking in at the office once or twice a week. I'm gonna make a whole new video on just that topic, working at the office versus working at home, and what changes that did for my planner system. Because that's quite different, I will tell you that. I don't like to carry like 5 planners to work. That really didn't work. Here's a flip of my weeks. I got really excited last year, so I started this on the day that this Hobonichi week started, doing all kinds of things. I was meal planning here and not enough page, so I had to tip this one in. My running list here, and this was the Alistair method that I was using, and it really, really worked for me, and I kind of fell off the Alistair method, and I went back to just writing down all the running lists and then getting things done on each day. I think that possibly I didn't know how to use it back then. So that's what was going on. Look how busy I was. So I was doing like 46 different types of tasks or projects in a given week. So I was getting down to science. And I think the beginning of this year was like this because I was not planning so much the previous year. I started in October of 2020. Even before then, I used planners and such, but I didn't have like my own functional system. I just get things done. So that was what was happening here. And I loved it. Even though it kept me really busy, I was very productive throughout the year. So a lot. So you can see how the list got smaller as I was getting things done. Right? It was getting smaller. Amazing. I'm actually looking at that and that's amazing. So not so much here. Wow. I like that. And then I started splitting work and home. And of course, you know, everything that needs to get done on that particular day were in the bucket, like house cleaning stuff, decluttering on this side. That kept me motivated for a while. And then I decided to just add it into my routine so I don't even have to write it down anywhere. It was just in my routine. That's just what I do. Then I started just writing down important things, highlights, and that was the yellow. And then the purple is like outside of the house things that I needed to do, errands and kids stuff. I was doing my habit tracker, to-do, running list, my high-level projects. Next week, what I needed to work on. And I would just kind of fill this out throughout the week and pre-plan the week before. So look at all that. Just going back to looking at my 2021, I will tell you that my favorite way of doing things is how I'm going to be doing it in 2022. So it's basically listing out my running list on this side and then going back to the Alistair method, and you'll see that reflected in my new hobonichi weeks for 2022. Yep. Started decorating a little bit. I think I was getting bored. And went back to paper and pen, right? So see, it went back to Alistair method. I keep doing that. I keep going back and then I drop out. I keep going back, drop out, completely dropped out. I think I was heavily using my B6 Stylogy here, which I am still using. And then just going back to the regular listing and then habit tracker. I think I was doing this habit tracker every time I was not motivated anymore. And I felt like, why do I have to do all this stuff around the house? You know, like being a little girl. And then at that point, I would go back and do the habit tracker so that it keeps me motivated. It gets me going. So this is a nice little flip. Like I was drawing something here. The sticky with a tab that I folded. Ooh, I'm gonna need this information later. Yeah, and that's the last week, is it? Yeah, that was the last week. And then I stopped using this because I moved on to the new one. And here's the back. I was using it for my purchases, gas tracker. I was doing that for a while and then I dropped that because I got the data that I wanted and I was done with that. And then I was tracking orders here, planning out the gifts for Christmas last year, brain dumps, orders. Sadly though, I realized that I was not going back to this as much as I thought I would. And so I am not using the back pages here for all these general notes anymore. In 2022, I actually have a separate hobonichi weeks for that. So I think I do have some private information in some of those pages. So I was using it separately for all my orders and all the different, and now I do this on my phone. So maybe I'll get around to showing you my lists on my phone, which I think everyone can do for free using the reminder app. These are my daily logs. I was doing a lot of doodling and decorating. I think that was my thing this year. Sometimes I just did this where I just had to get it all out of my head. Like this was all the kitchen and different places that I wanted to declutter. So more daily logs. talks, some journaling. Sometimes I only had this. At one point, because this was in my wallet, I decided, why don't I try to keep it all in one Hobonichi Weeks instead of having multiples? My main planner and then having that separate wallet planner for credit card spending tracker. I wanted to try to keep it all in one. And so I attempted at it and I realized I don't like it. I still didn't like to carry this chunky notebook in my wallet. So I took that out real quick. So more things, cleaning tracker. I was going by week and all the different zones in my house. That kept me motivated for these 2 weeks. Now I kind of got it. So sometimes you just need a little boost of motivation somehow. And that's what these planners are for, right? To give you motivation. So that was my last daily log. And then I moved on 28th. We went to the BTS concert in LA. So that was really exciting. We talked about that and what we learned from it, like what we felt from it, all in mentality. And so that was my flip. I will do a new flip of how I'm going to be using my Hobonichi Weeks, the two, one regular, one mega. And then I have another mega that I will show you, and that's strictly for note-taking and brainstorming. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, I'll see you later. Bye.